Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. We've been having some internet issues, so I just want to make sure everything is working here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just in the last, oh, I don't have my lights on. Just in the last 24 hours, we seem to be having lagged internet. So I just wanted to make sure that it actually was where, hey Sue, where I was supposed to be. And I am. And I know I was promising for the last little while that I would come on and do these. And so everything got a little bit crazy. But so we are here today, and I think I've got all my tech stuff up and running. But, okay. Here is what I wanted to talk to you about. Sorry, it does not like it when it's so bright. I'll put it down once we start assembling the page. So, as most of you know, there is a new Cricut cartridge called Everyday Moments, and it's very similar to the last one. So they're pre-designed pages, cards, mini scrapbook pages. Hey Sue, hey Bernadette. Mini scrapbook pages, single pages, and double pages. So I thought that it would be fun to work through some of the pages. So I think it was on the weekend. So I'm just going to sit down for a sec because now I actually feel winded. I was running around trying to get all the last minute stuff done. So I think I asked last week, which I posted 3 different single page spreads and I said, how about we pick one? And then the funny part was basically you guys all picked about the same on each of them. So I thought, okay, we'll work through the 3 pages. So on Sunday, I think it was, I picked out some papers, and I cut the first one A. No, I think it was Monday already. And then I actually ended up having to go out into the world for what took like forever, it seemed like, the other day. So this got set aside for a few hours or days or whatever. So we are back, and we're going to walk through assembling it. And actually, it's funny, it happens to be this page. I didn't actually even realize that before I pulled out the idea book. But we're going to assemble this page, and I've picked different colors, and I've not assembled this page yet. So we're going to work through it together. And I'm going to see if I can, I'm going to screen share some of the Design Space stuff, and we will put it together. Okay, so I did not use the original color choice. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure, I just have to make myself bigger so I can see myself. I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to show you some things in Design Space because this, like I said, this cartridge is a little bit different. So let me just see here. I had it up, oh, okay. I had it up and working this morning. So, well, I didn't sit down for very long. But, okay. So this is my Design Space. Whoa, that was my iPad. Something's come loose in my little stand that holds my iPad up so that I can actually see, because when I've got other stuff going on my screen, it's hard to watch both things at the same time. Okay, so maybe we will, and I'm just slightly delayed, so I'm going to show you. Okay, we're gonna go. I don't know if this is gonna work very well. Let's just see. I don't know if I will get it to pop up here. Let's just see. Okay, here it is. So this is the Everyday Moments cartridge. And so these, like I said, so they're pre-designed pages. They're single pages, and there are cards, and then there's mini scrapbooking pages, and then there's double page spreads. I'm just sorry, I'm delayed as I'm watching myself, because when I'm screen sharing, I can't actually see myself on my computer. So there's lots of fun stuff in here. So the three that we're going to play with over the next few days are this one, this Daydream single page, which will be the next one, and I'll show you at the end. I've picked the photos, and then this one, the doily one, and then we're going to play with one that's not actually a 12 by 12 layout, this adventure single page, which is the size of a scrapbooking page. So we're going to play with those three over the course of the next few days. But I wanted to show you, okay, so let's pretend like we are going to bring this one in just the way it is. So you will see that everything is all grouped together, and they have given you suggested colors. So I'm actually going to, when we go to assemble it, use this as a guide for putting mine together, because I actually haven't looked at how to assemble it or anything just yet. But so if you want to just do it the exact same way that they have it, the colors I would assume are like the white would be, this white background would be French vanilla. This is probably glacier, then maybe peach, ballerina, sweet leaf, peacock, smoothie. So you can leave it exactly how it is and just cut it out, or you can play around with it. So I went to the how-to book, Love of Color, and I literally randomly picked one grouping of colors that had the same number of colors in it. And then I actually ended up changing it a little bit. But so we are going to, this is the end result kind of what I picked. So we'll just let it pop up on the screen. Okay. So, oh, I didn't change the background color. The first thing you have to do if you want to change everything is make sure to ungroup everything so that you can change the colors. So I have done that already, but I'm just going to quickly change my background so you guys can actually see what we should look like when we're done. So I picked my colors, and I have Oh no, I left it. Sorry, the actual background I did black, not this part. I left this part white. See, that's what happens when I cut something out 3 days ago. So I've got a black background. I've got a white scalloped edge. And then for this outer layer, I used peach. And so for this outer layer, I used peach. I have here sapphire. The blue is Carolina. And then the green, I took one of the holographic papers. Dreamy, I do believe. We'll double check that when we start assembling. And then I have pewter for gray. So I've slightly changed the colors, but I'm going to, now we're going to assemble it. So I'm just going to hide some of these layers so that you can see very easily how we're going to assemble it. Because it looks super scary because there's so many layers, but it's actually not. So I'm just going to remove some of this stuff out of the way so you can actually see what's going on here. And then we'll put them all back as we work at assembling it. Okay, let's take the photo mats out. I've printed photos, so we're going to add those. We don't need these. I just basically want to get down to the doily. So there was also a second doily on the page. I took out the smallest one though because I didn't need it in there. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this to help me assemble my page. Hey Kim. So you can see the actual layers by turning them off and on. So you can see as soon as I take the doily away, that's what it looks like on the inside. And, okay, I'm going to drop you down onto my desk again for 1 second here. Okay, sorry, I just have to move Design Space out of my way for a second. So, I can hear this banging that sounds like it's like directly outside my window, but it doesn't seem to be directly outside my window. It must be one of the neighbors. Okay, so those are my pictures. We'll talk about those later. So here we go. I've cut out all the pieces and I have a picture here of how it's supposed to look. Okay. So there's our title. We're just going to move a few things out of the way. I am going to get these things out of the way because I don't actually need them yet. Okay, so I looked at this and I think, these are our little extras here, the easiest way to assemble this, okay, somebody asked about weeding this doily. It actually was very easy. I used light grip Cricut mats, the blue ones, always, for everything. And once you cut out your image, if you peel your mat backwards, it just pops right off. And then you just have to scrape off your mat. It was actually super easy. It does, I will say, take a while to cut because it's obviously cutting a ton, but it was super easy to weed. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that my microphone sounds funny when I've got that screen share on. I'm going to get my all-purpose mat so we can start gluing things down. So my plan is to glue everything to the doily. I think that that's the easiest way to assemble this layout. So you can see I have my Carolina pieces here, and I'll just stack them all up. And then here are my holographic, the camera is not going to like this, but there are my holographic pieces. I thought that would be super fun and something a little bit different for this layout. Okay, my sapphire pieces. I'll need this Carolina piece to start and this sapphire piece to start. They're the middle pieces. Okay. And you all know me, we will be using liquid glass. Okay, just let me get my mat. I was pretty organized, but apparently not completely organized. So, and of course, like, I don't know if anybody has here listened. I'm sure everybody now has listened to me ramble on about our foundation issues this spring. So I am teaching where I don't normally teach. And so like the distractions of things like the noise outside are definitely distracting to me. So I am just trying. Oh yes, it is the neighbors. I see them leaving now. My best these days. And nothing is where it's supposed to be. So on top of everything else, it took me much longer to find my printer to print my photographs today. Because I didn't know if I'd left it or if I had it upstairs. So, okay. We're going to start. We'll go back to the screen and I'm going to we'll go back so we can see. Okay. So you can see here in the middle is the Carolina and the sapphire. So I'm going to add those two layers first and then we'll work our way out to the next ones. So I am just going to, we'll put some liquid glue on everything and we'll start assembling things. Okay. I'll pop back and forth so that you guys can kind of see sometimes the design space versus actually just assembling the layout. Okay, so I am just going to add some liquid glue in certain spots. And like this is going to cover up here, right? So, and just remember, you're assembling it upside down. So you have to decide which layer you want to be facing up. So did you want it to be dark? Did you want it to be or the light side? Because all the cardstock is two-sided. So at this point, you have to think in reverse as to which side you want to show. So I'm thinking, I think I want my light side. Now I'm trying to remember because I would have cut it. I think we're going to go. We're going to go, I think, dark side. So I'm just making sure that it's over the right part. Okay. And then this is our next layer. So I'm just going to look and see where I should be adding my glue. So I will add along here in just a few spots. You guys, you would be so proud of me. I actually am almost at the bottom of this container bottle of liquid glue. And oh, I'll finish my other story after, but the precision tip has definitely helped. I used to get frustrated and throw it away partway through, but I am almost right at the bottom. Okay, so now I'm just fitting it on like so. Okay, so now you can see it's not gonna, every once in a while it's gonna auto focus for the, because of the white. Okay, so there we go. That layer is done. Look how easy was that. Okay, so now we'll look at the Cricut again. And you can see now where we need to put the other pieces. So now what I think I'm going to do is, so the blue layer you can see here is on top of the green layer. So let's think about this for a second. I want this behind everything, so that'll be the last thing we put on. So I'm going to put my blue pieces next. No, I'm going to put the holographic paper on next. So they go into all of these pieces, and then the blue ones go here, like so, right here. So first I'm going to put the holographic pieces in, and then I will put my blue pieces in. And by the end, there'll be so many layers that everything should be stuck down. And really, once you get your stuff on top of it, nobody's going to notice. So look how pretty that is, though. Okay. So a few dots on the top. Yeah, so our foundation was leaking this spring. Well, it started in February, I guess, when the ground started to defrost. So now my office is not where it's supposed to be. And so had a few people out to give us quotes. and I was not looking forward to this week. Because on top of everything else, the last thing you need is your basement to be leaking. Because for us, it was actually like completely usable space. So there are more people in the same amount of space. But so what happened was, of course, right before I was supposed to go live, the quotes started to come in. So then, of course, my husband's texting me from work because he's still at work. So it has been an interesting few weeks here, as I'm sure it is for everybody. Everybody's got so much going on. Oh, I really like that. So let's keep going. So I have the next one we're going to do after this one later in the week is the Daydreamer one. And when I printed my photos for this one, I printed my photos for that one because it calls for the photo mats. There's two sets of, like a photo mat in this one and a photo mat in the next one that are 3x4s. So I wanted to print them together. So what I had to find was I had to find my Canon selfie somewhere. I did end up finding it in the end. So if anybody wants to see how I print my 3x4s, I can show you. But I thought, oh, I'll take advantage of the time because I print them on the same 4x6, and I'll print my ones for the next class. So, oh, no problem. It's not very exciting, I'm thinking, yet. But I was just telling all my woes. But, so I picked for this layout, the title says, Today Only Happens Once. But I picked out some, you guys, I actually might have to switch this out before we're done this. I picked out Mother's Day photos for this page. So, and I'll say one thing about this cartridge is you could very easily assemble all of the layouts just with cardstock if you wanted. So if you had like lots of discontinued colors or stuff just lying around, this cartridge is a perfect way to just use cardstock to create layouts. So that watching me glue things down might get a little monotonous. But yeah, so if anybody needs to know how to switch out the colors, like I said, you just need to unlock it because when they all come into Design Space, all the layers are locked together just because of the format of the way that this cartridge works. So you just have to ungroup everything and then you can switch out your colors and you can see what it's going to look like in like a preview. So that's how I kind of played around with it. I picked a couple of variations that I wanted to pick from before. Okay, so now I can just see a few spots where I might have missed. The nice thing about the liquid glue and the doily is that it seals so quickly. So that's how we're looking so far. It's funny, you can see the reflections of my lights. So then the next layer I'm going to add in is the Carolina, and it's probably not going to look very much different on the camera, but it looks different in real life. So you can see it just fits right into the middle there. So I'm just gonna keep on adding my liquid gloss. I'm gonna do something wild and crazy, I think. Well, I might just try. Nope, the dogs are back from their walk, so hopefully they're not going to bark. There have been so many people out walking their dogs. I have one dog that barks constantly at everything, and one that is very quiet. She just likes to watch the squirrels in the morning run from window. She runs from window to window watching the squirrels. So hopefully with this one, I'm not going to get too much. But I need to pull the top off, and I don't know. I don't see I don't think I can get the top off without pliers right now. So I will just do my best. So like I said, I found that the easiest way too to figure out how to assemble it is just to look at the different, like reveal and unreveal, hide the different layers of the paper in Design Space, and then it totally makes sense as to how it goes together. Because I know when you see this, all of them really, it looks like, oh man, there's a lot of layers, but there's really not that many layers. And playing around with the colors by changing them in Design Space too, you can figure out kind of how it's going to look in the end. And I did not pick my pictures before I picked my colors. I get questions a lot of times about when you do a workshop and you just leave your photo mats blank, do you have a hard time finding pictures to fill it? And no, I actually I make them work. I typically, as long as I have photos, can find something that will work for the layout. Okay, so here. We're putting in now, so the green is actually, like I said, the holographic paper, and the blue is the Carolina. I might end up without the precision tip on here with a little bit more glue than I would like, but you do what you gotta do. Okay, so I'm ready to hear how everybody else is doing this spring. I'm keeping busy. Okay, we're getting there. 3 more. So I don't know that I'm actually telling anybody anything they didn't know, but I thought it would be fun to just assemble them live versus just seeing the end result. And I felt this was a good time to be playing with something new. Okay, one more. So the only thing I would say with the two-sided cardstock and something like this is to make sure that all your pieces that are the same are in the same direction. So there we go. That's what we've got so far. Oh, I like it. Okay, so now we have the sapphire ring that we are going to put down. So same thing. We're going to, okay. So just so nobody knows, that everybody doesn't realize that I've got a ghost coming in the room, it's just the dogs are back from their walk and they don't like the door being closed to my current space. So every once in a while you'll see the door pop open behind me. Oh, and that's so funny. Okay, so I'll tell you what just happened. So my, because it's totally like, I don't know if you guys have seen the video of, I'm pretty sure it's like a BBC reporter in England, and he televises from home, and they have like a nanny that takes care of their kid, and the toddler comes in the door of his office behind him, and then the nanny comes up and she's trying to make it so that you can't see her, and she's like pulling the kid out, and he just keeps on going with his report. That's totally what I feel like with the two dogs at the moment. But so my older dog that normally doesn't actually bang my door open just came in to check and see what was going on, and he didn't find anything interesting in here. So he's now just wandered up the stairs behind me, and he's gone to my son's room to go to sleep. It's nice and quiet. He can get away from the puppy up there. So it's been very entertaining around here lately. So, thanks. I don't think, to be super honest, I don't think you could go wrong with any kind of color combination. And that's the fun thing, I think, about the cartridge too. So the original combination, I think, was like um, a like a the original, like when I pulled a combination out of the Love of Color, I think it was slightly different. But then I decided that I wanted to put the holographic paper in there because I thought, oh, this is perfect for it. Okay, now the puppy's coming in to see what's going on. Yeah, she's gonna have a rest now though. But I had I had the pieces of cardstock sitting out on my table, and I thought, good morning. I thought, oh, I bet that the holographic paper would be awesome in here. Okay, so I'm just going to try and line it up as best as possible before I lay it down, and kind of just maneuver it into place. So I feel like the liquid glue gives me enough wiggle room that I can get everything where it should be. Okay. So there we go. Okay, and then my last layer is peach. So I'm thinking though, I am not going to use glue now. I am going to You woke up at 6:45 like on purpose, or are like, I will say that that is one thing that definitely all of this staying at home has changed everybody's schedule. My daughter used to leave for work at 6:30 in the morning, and she works out before she goes to work. So she has started sleeping in a little bit, but like when you get up that early, that's something that's definitely hard to change. So, and I get up super early always because I can't sleep through any sort of noise. So, but definitely it has been quieter in my house these days. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I love it. So I'll move that out of the way. And then, yes, I'm sure I've said this before on here, but I used to do, after I had kids, my job, did store display. So like dress the mannequins and set up stuff. And so I worked always super early in the morning. So I'm much more geared that way. And my husband is geared completely the opposite direction. He worked in restaurants. Okay, so I also cut out the tag with the holographic paper. And I will tell you, I did attach this already because I was super worried I was going to lose that before. Okay, and then I have a peach heart. And then I cut out the little, hey Kim, a little sapphire banner. So that's the color that I picked there. So like I said, the green actually represents the holographic paper. And then I also attached this because I was worried about losing it. So any little pieces that I didn't think would still be here, I attached. So I just wanted to talk about something here too. So the first time I cut this title out, you can see there's all the little white on the title. So I recut it out and I just flipped the image in Design Space so that it would be cutting backwards so you don't get the same white from our white core cardstock. So underneath the pieces, the Carolina and then pewter, but the back side. Okay, and then our heart goes here, and we have two photographs. So we have a 3x4 and a 4x6. They have the scallop at the bottom, but I think I'm going to put it at the top. So, like this. I'm just kind of trying to place everything in. And then, so the pictures I picked, I told you, were from Mother's Day. So this is a picture of me and my son and my daughter. And then this is me and my daughter again. And I needed, because I wanted to leave the picture frames the same size, a 3x4. So what I've done is I've put two 3x4s on a 4x6. And the way I do that is, So and I use Becky Higgins' Picture My Life app to be able to do that. So if anybody has watched my video about my Canon selfie and how much I love it for exactly this, this is the way that I print. And you can do this and then send them to be printed. You don't have to, I don't know if it'll flip. Will it flip? Oh, it will flip. You can then just save them to your camera roll and send them away to be printed. So it's super easy to do. Okay, let's go back to the beginning here. When you go in, you can pick all different photo sizes and configurations. So if you needed like 2x2s, you could pick this one. So this is a 4x4 with then two 2x2s on the bottom, and you just insert your photographs, and then it prints off as a 4x6, right? But we needed, or I needed, two 4x3s. So I picked this one, and all you have to do is click on it. You pick your photograph. So you'll see here, okay, I picked that photograph, and I can move it around depending on how I wanted it to print. And then I let go of it, and now I want to put my photograph in my second spot. So now this is my one from my other page that I picked. So I'll just move it up a little bit. And there you could see now they're side by side, and it'll print on a regular sized photograph. You just export it as a 4x6 image, and you can save it. So I'm just going to save the image, and now it's in my camera roll. So there we go. That's how you do that. Bernadette, you've been up all night. That's no good. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut this, obviously, because our second one is for the project tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I like it for the convenience sake. It is very easy. Because like, it's not like I don't order bulk photographs, because I still do order bulk photographs. I want the white mat still here, so I'm just going to trim this up a little bit while I talk. But because I do order bulk photographs, I order a lot at a time. But lots of times, if I'm just doing like a little project, or obviously when I'm doing a class, I might not. I'm going to put this in my file for tomorrow, which is behind me. I might not need 50. Let's see. Yeah, it's super easy. It's super easy. You can also use the same thing and print them on your home printer if you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to glue some stuff together here. So this is the other part of the title, as I'm almost like smashing it. That is the easiest way I have found. So like I said, you can still use the app and send your pictures away to be printed, or you can print direct. Like I'll just now print, like if I was going to actually print that, I could print it from my camera roll. I'm trying to think how, the last time I did a selfie like how-to video was probably quite a while ago. But okay, so I printed my ones for the next page, but maybe the adventure ones I won't print them before, and we can walk through that when we do that one. Okay, so I'm just going to add my two layers together. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside to dry. And now I'm going to add something. I'm going to get my bucket of embellishments here. And I'm going to put some twine on my photographs. So let's see, white or mink or white and gold. Nope, I think we're going to do mink, guys. So I think I could look back and see if I can find the video where I walk through the selfie. But like I said, maybe we'll do it later when we do the adventure page. I just actually had to order myself more prints, like cartridges and paper for my selfie. And I ordered it on Amazon, and it said expected April 18th or something with my 2-day Prime. So I'm assuming that everybody is ordering everything on Amazon. So yeah, that's what's going on. I still have lots, but I like to have, because I teach a lot online, and typically for those, I'm not, it's very easy. And so we'll do that for sure. I will pick my photos for the adventure layout, but I won't print them before, and we'll walk through exactly how to do it all for sure. The like I said, the Daydream, I think the title on the next one is Daydreamer. I haven't cut it yet, but I did print them because I used them. Like I said, I thought, oh, I might as well print that at the same time. And but I have not printed pictures for the adventure. And once I pick my pictures, maybe we will vote on a color scheme for that one. I think I have picked the color scheme for the Daydreamer. I'll show you guys at the end. Do you guys have access to like a Canon selfie? I know you guys had issues with Cricut before, but so like I said too, you could do the same thing and print it on your home printer if your home printer prints 4x6s. I don't know why I'm having so much problem here. Untangling this. But like I said, I love my Canon selfie. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to decide where my twine is going to go. Like every once in a while, I mess up with my Canon selfie because I forget that it's connected to my computer. So for example, I went to go print this before so that I could have it sitting here so you guys could see it, and I'll show you what happened. I wasn't paying attention. Oh no, this is for tomorrow. So, or the next day, whenever. I printed the sheets so that I could show you the layout, and I didn't realize that I wasn't paying attention, and so I printed on my Canon selfie. So that was super silly. So that's just because I was trying to do something in a hurry. There's a surprise. That catches me every time. Because like it just functions over my Wi-Fi. So if it's turned on and it's the last thing I've printed on, then it automatically defaults to that. And of course, I didn't even look before I did it. So but oh well. I still have enough to keep us going for a while. Okay. So there we go. I've got my twine on there. We will figure out oh, my daughter has the sprocket too. She loves it. Because the sprocket's like the little tiny ones, right? 2x3s. Is that what the sprocket prints? I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I think we are going to, let's attach the background pieces before we start tucking in the little accent pieces. We have all the fun little printer camera things here too. Like my daughter has like the Fuji, like the Instax one. That's like the old fashioned where you only get one chance. So the sprocket one though, she has lots of fun with. She adds all sorts of, you can add filters and text over top of it, over top of the photos. I actually think I've done a layout where she printed photos for me for with her sprocket. I just can't remember. I think it might have been though when we got the puppy. Okay, so now I've just adhered the doily onto the white, and then I picked black for my background, and I'm just going to figure out, yeah, I'm going to leave the twine there like that. I'll move this one over. Oh, thank you. And literally, I didn't open my photos till, like my photos to pick, until probably about 11. So I figure that's not bad. Okay, and I'm just gonna pop this up because y'all know I'm gonna do that. I'm super excited too because it's actually sunny here today. So I will be able to take photographs after of this layout and I'll add them onto my page. It has not, yesterday I think it was so overcast here. And I need it to warm up so that I can go outside a little bit more. I don't do good with this being quarantined and it being cold outside. I wish that it was warmer so I could at least get a few things done outside. Yesterday, I think actually was the first day my husband was actually off since this whole thing has started. And I'm like, Okay, well, that's one more person in my house. You're going to make me crazy. I need you to go outside and do something. But it was too cold and dreary to actually do anything outside. So that was no good. Just with the footprint of our house being so much smaller, with losing the level at the moment. How cold is it? Are you guys Fahrenheit or are you Celsius? You tell me, and then I'll tell you what I am. Because we're Celsius. Because I can tell you either way. You're Celsius? Okay. That makes it super easy for me to tell you. So we are 2 degrees. Oh, 3 degrees. 3 degrees and kind of sunny. Oh, look, see, it's going to get sunny at dinner time. But we're supposed to actually warm up quite a bit, which will get rid of the snow, which is, I think, my biggest issue is I just want the snow gone now. It's just that gross, dirty snow left now. And like the sidewalks are all wet to walk on. So even if you're trying to get outside to walk, like to walk the dog or whatever, you're walking in water up to your ankles. Okay, so I put the scallop, the little scallop for the photo mat at the top. So everything's in there, right? It will even cut your white photo mats if you want. I just hid them and didn't have it cut them because I didn't want that. And like I said, I did cut out, there was another doily that goes over here and I didn't want another one. So I just hid that before I cut it. You're 16. I would take 16 right now. I think we're supposed to be 10 by the weekend though, so that's good. 10 and sunny, if I can walk outside. Oh, it's 13 at 7 a.m. Okay, well, it'll be warmer soon. Yes, what I want, not that I ever typically just get what I want, but okay, so now I want lots of the doilies still to show. So here we go. I'm going to pop this one up so that it sits over top of this one. And then we have our little title is going to go right here. And then we have this little piece there. I'm going to pop up the heart here and we'll tuck the holographic right there. And this I will add some adhesive to and I'll tuck it under first. So none of the top layers I have stuck down. So I'm going to, but I'm happy with the placement. So we'll do that one. And then I will do this one right here. And then the holographic. I'm going to do right here, like that. And then this photo, I'm going to add flat. right there. Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to add my thick foam tape, 3D foam tape, I mean, here. So I'm going to make sure, because I want this one higher than this one, I'm going to go around the outside. So like that. So now it'll just nestle on top of the other photograph. Like that. There we go. And oh, that's exactly what we need, is some rain. Just to clean away all of our leftover winter. Okay, so I want this also to kind of overhang on this part. So remember, I've popped this up with 3D foam tape. So I need 3D foam tape under these parts. So I'm just going to flip it so I remember where I want to pop it up. Oh, it's so cute. The puppy is lying on the ground, like literally right behind me, and she's snoring. I guess she's tired today. So, okay, so that fits perfectly there. Okay, so I'm just trying to decide what kind of bling we will use here. So, should we use something? Here we go. And now we'll add this one right here. So again, same thing. I'm just remembering my layers. So I'll add a little bit of 3D foam tape here and then lots under here. Trying to decide if we'll add sequins or if we should add like let's see what's in here. Oh, I wonder. Let's see. I think we will do some of the sapphire dots from the Seize the Day. There we go. You could totally, oh my goodness, I've got a cord hanging down here. You could totally, the background would look super awesome splattered too. Like you could use your shimmer brush and splatter the background if you didn't like all the white space. But there is quite a bit going on in the foreground, so it might be too much. So there we go. We'll just, I think, add our dots and then we might be done. think I'm going to add it over here. Okay, that we don't need. So that we don't need. Yeah, I think we're going to do these ones. So let's pick some random spots. So these are just the dark blue dots from the Seize the Day. I think I might even add, no, maybe I'll just keep with the blue ones. Okay, there we go. That's not bad. Considering at certain points I wasn't really sure what I was doing there. So I think that turned out very nice. Okay, so there you go. You can see probably parts of the holographic paper. So it really picks up the Carolina that's beside it and the sapphire at the top. Sorry, if I lift it up too high, we get weird shadows there. Okay, so I will photograph that and I'll add it to my page. But, okay, so I'll show you the next one. So we're going to do, okay, so the next one I said, we're just going to work through the ABC. So that's the order I decided to go in. So the next one is the Daydreamer one. Okay, so these are the photographs that I printed for Daydreamer. And I think that I want to keep the peacock color because that's kind of what this reminds me of. So I think that it'll look nice off of the peacock. So this is, I think, the color combination we're going to use. I'll have to obviously change the sugar plum, but I think we're going to go peacock. And you can see, like, this is obviously quite muted tones here. So we're going to, so like this would be saffron and probably glacier and peacock and peach maybe and smoothie. So we're going to go, I think, peacock and eggplant, glacier. I'll put a purple in here, and then we're going to do heather. So I'm not sure if it'll be tomorrow. Okay, so today is Thursday, right? I'm so confused about my days of the week now. That definitely, I have a hard time with everybody being at home with me all the time. But maybe I'll cut it now and we'll try and do it tomorrow about the same time. So that is my plan. And so I will update you all. And we'll do the same thing. When I switch out the colors, we'll start at the beginning with just looking at how I adapted the Design Space file. So if you guys have any questions about anything in Design Space that you want me to address tomorrow, just add them to the comments. And I'll try and answer them tomorrow when I do the screen share. I'm going to switch out my tip on my glue after so that if we need it, I have it. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day. And I hope that some people will try this layout. If you guys try the layout, drop it in the comments at the bottom. And I would love to see what you pick as your color combination. Because I think this could be like super awesome with lots of different color combinations. And it is a relative, I think that too, people just have to realize it's not as bad as it looks, I think, is part of the problem. I think maybe I'll add a little piece of twine here while I finish up. So that's all I've got for you. Yeah, like I said, I think that it seems overwhelming when you look at it, but really, once you kind of figure out how the pieces go together, then I think it's much easier. And like I said, I found that so when I looked at it and then I just went in and hid the different layers in Design Space, that was the easiest way for me to figure out how to assemble the page. So I was just thinking this tag kind of looked a little funny without a piece of twine off of it. So there we go. I'll trim that up so it's actually the same. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later this week with another page. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.